President Biden with a stark warning to Vladimir Putin yesterday. As Russia massed troops on the border of Ukraine, Biden spoke directly this week to Putin, the Ukrainian president, and neighboring states to head off a Russian invasion. The question now, is there anything the West can do to prevent Putin from moving in? Martha Raddatz and former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine William Taylor are standing by to analyze after this report from senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell on the front lines of the conflict.
Scenes of devastation. This is the front line in eastern Ukraine, at the heart of what risks becoming the most explosive crisis in Europe since the Cold War. This is where Ukrainian forces have been fighting against Russian-backed separatists for almost 8 years now.
I don't know if you can quite make out, but the colonel's telling us we've got to really keep our voices down here, because this is the area where the Russian-backed separatist forces fire on their troops. And if they can hear us, then the risk is that they open fire. Look at the damage, it's incredible.
Hard to imagine that this was once a bustling factory. Today, it's a monument to the ferocity of battles fought here.
The Russian-backed separatists are literally about 50 yards, maybe less, just on the other side there.
The lines here have barely moved since 2015, when a ceasefire ended large-scale fighting. But this has been an imperfect peace, and the conflict today is still burning.
Every few minutes, another gunshot there. You hear the sound of rapid automatic gunfire there. They're telling us to go.
Ukraine's trapped by geography and history. This key former Soviet state is caught between East and West, between Europe and Russia. Today, some fear Vladimir Putin, fearing diminishing influence, is preparing once again to reignite this conflict. For weeks, Russia's been amassing troops along Ukraine's eastern border. US intelligence officials reportedly say that as many as 175,000 could be there by January. The Kremlin unhappy that Ukraine's moving too close to the West and NATO. It set up a critical test for the Biden administration. A renewed invasion would be far more devastating than the last one and have effects well beyond Europe. Some experts fearing it could even embolden China to seize Taiwan. President Biden this week used his secure video call with Putin to warn him against sending troops over the border.
In fact, he invades Ukraine. There will be severe consequences. Severe consequences. Economic consequences like none he's ever seen.
After Tuesday's call, both leaders agreed to continue discussions, but it gave few clues whether Russia will now de-escalate. Russia's repeatedly insisted it isn't preparing to attack, while talking about red lines and engaging in high-stakes brinkmanship to try to force the US and NATO out of Ukraine. This week, Ukraine's military gave us an exclusive look at US-supplied weapons, Javelin anti-tank missiles. It's rare to see these weapons deployed to the front lines in the east. This is exactly the kind of aid Putin sees as evidence of American meddling in Russia's backyard, and Ukraine on an unacceptable trajectory. No one really knows what Putin is planning. Is this all about creating pressure to extract concessions, or does he really plan to use force? For Ukrainians living near the front lines, the threat of invasion looms large. But after 8 years, it's also become part of daily life, and few told us they feared an invasion was imminent.
Do people talk about the Russians being on the border? Are people concerned?
I would say no.
Since Biden's call with Putin, Russia's kept the pressure up. On Friday, Ukraine accusing Russia of a de facto blockade of some Ukrainian ports. Putin also comparing what he sees as the war on Russian speakers in the east to a genocide. Whatever Vladimir Putin decides, Ukrainian troops at the front line say the only thing they can really do is be ready.
Ready to fight?
Yeah, ready to fight, yeah.
Ready to die?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's our ground, our country.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.